Hello and welcome to Telesur. This is from Caracas. I'm Carla Gonzalez, and today we are discussing the new exhibit at the Contemporary Art Museum here in Caracas called Comrade Picasso. For that we have Oscar Sotillo, the Vice-Minister of Identity and Cultural Diversity. Thank you, Oscar, for being with us.
Thank you, Carla.
So tell me, why calling this exhibit Comrade Picasso?
Comrade Picasso is a way to remember that Picasso was also a comrade. He was a militant against the fascism in Europe during the 20s and 30s. And then in a long time, this word comrade has disappeared from associated to his name. But we try here in Caracas in 2018 to bring to the memory again that he was a comrade.
So from all the paintings here, all the drawings, why is the main focus of all these paintings? Does it have a line that goes through all of them?
Yeah, look, all this exhibition is a part of the Museum of Contemporary Art collection. We have here 149 pieces collected within 1983 to 1996. It was a beautiful collection, mostly etchings, drawings, paintings, and some reproductions of high-quality offset printings from France. And this is a beautiful exhibition because we have a very a wide range of Picasso works, from etchings, as I told you, paintings, drawings, and then we have a beautiful treasure here that is the Suite Bollard.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, this is the Suite Bollard is a whole collection of 100 etchings made by Picasso within 1930 to 1937. And this museum is one of the 7 in the world that have the complete series of Suite Bollard. And this is a treasure that we have here for all the Venezuelan and the people from Caracas. And we take the opportunity to invite them to see this beautiful treasure we have here.
So you were saying that it's important to analyze the aspect of Picasso being a comrade. From all the paintings here, which one would you say is the most important, or the one that speaks out the most about his political perspective? Can we see it here?
Yes, we have a very well-known piece or sketches of that piece, very famous, called Guernica. Picasso painted that in 1937, and it was against or a way to bring to the world the information from that very ugly bombing situation in Guernica in Spain. It was a bombing made by the German and Italian air forces, the fascist air forces, against the Republic, against the people from Spain. And then we have here 46 sketches from the Guernica. It's very well known as a very political piece because it was it's a big denounce of against the war, against the fascism. And then you can bring your family and see 46 of these sketches from the bull head and the crying woman and all these terrible but at the same time beautiful pieces.
So you would say that Guernica and whatever was happening socially, political in Spain at that moment changed the way Picasso thought about life, or was he always, did he always have that thought in his life that he needed to work towards explaining to his audience, to the people, what was happening in the world?
Yeah, if we see the Picasso works, it's very important to see and understand when he painted it. Europe in that time was a very moving society, very moving part of the history. From 30s and the 30s in Europe, the fascism was rising, you see, and then there was the civil war in Spain and all this movement, and Picasso was right inside, you know, that movement, and he was a very sensitive person, and then he was right in the middle of all that movement, inside the paintings, inside the social tissues, if I can say that. And then he took part of that. He was part of the Communist Party in France. He went to Poland. He was the Soviet Union. He was against the fascism in Spain. He took part of his history. He was in the middle of a very interesting moment in Europe, and he was no, we can say he was very inside that thing, and he used all that for his sensitive and for his works.
So it seems that people and societies have decided to divide that aspect of Picasso. Picasso the painter, Picasso the comrade, have decided to open a bridge between both of them and decide not to talk about these topics.
Yes, it's a very traditional way to work for the capitalism and the forces that try to divide the artist in one side and then the political issues and political actions in the other side. Most of the famous artists in the art history were militants of its time, of their time. I mean, if you remember Chopin, for example, Michelangelo or Picasso or other people, that they were militant of their times, and it's not easy to divide people that what they believe. It's not, they made paintings or artworks, but why? You say why? Because they were inside, they were part of a history, and then from that history they took the themes, they took the things they need to work, and it's reflected on their works. And then how can an artist not being a political or a militant? All of them are, because they are very sensitive people.
That's true. Even Picasso said at some point that paintings were not made to decorate apartments, that it was in the veins of the artist to be part of society, to feel the society talking to them, and they can talk to society as well.
Yes, that's a political position.
It is.
Yes.
So what was his political position? Was he really that communist, that political aspect, was it really strong, or was it just a part of his life that he wanted to?
Well, he was a painter. He was an artist, a creator of a lot of things. He worked for plays and theater. He worked for etchings. He painted. He made things for ballet and different things. He was mostly a painter, a creator of things, but he was against the fascism. He was out of Spain until his death because he was against it. And now we are in Caracas in 2018, we are against the fascism also. And then that's why we try to remember this in this moment in this city. It was strange, the first question you made, why comrade Picasso? And you say, well, we have a common enemy. Picasso had the enemy of the fascism, and we here in Venezuela in the Bolivarian Revolution have the same enemy.
And that seems to be the reason why bringing Picasso to a society like Venezuela, it's very important to show the people living here that through art we can also speak about society and their main issues that are happening.
Yes, of course. This is a very important part of our history. How it's interesting to see that many people in Caracas, they don't know that we have all these Picasso here in the museum. They were in some way hidden, in some way. Now we can show the first time that we show all of them together. And then this is part of our history also. This is part of the 20th century history. And we are very proud to have this and to show this to the people. Our revolutionary act is to bring it to the light and show all of them together now.
So how is the different historical and political context affect artists back then and artists right now in Venezuela?
Well, it could be a very long answer, but it's good to say that in that time Picasso was fighting against the fascism. I have to tell that again, against the fascism. And then in Venezuela, now we are struggling against the fascism again. 80 years after, 70 years after, we have the same enemy. And then that's why maybe Picasso is very important now. As a creator, as an artist in the middle of a struggle. And then we are a society in the middle of another struggle, but we take this example of how to use these historical things that are going on, that are happening now, to make beautiful spaces for people and to show the history and to show the society through the beauty things of art bring to the people.
And since you've been in contact with the artistic scenery in Venezuela and in Caracas specifically, how do you see their reaction to this exhibit?
Well, you see, this is association of Comrade Picasso. Of course, it brings like a itching to the right wing, you know. If you, the people from the right wings, they criticize the way we use for the name, Comrade. They never associate Picasso with the comrade, or they never associate Picasso with the communist militants that he had.
There was also a part of the Communist Party in France that had even the name of Pablo Picasso.
Yes, because he was a very old militant. And then we bring something that is very easy and is in the history. If you read the books, you will see that. But it was hidden. We bring it to the light. As we bring all these pieces together, we bring this name, and it calls, you know, attention to see. A lot of people, they didn't know that Picasso was a comrade. He was part of the French Communist Party. But it's in the books. You open a book and you will see that. We are bringing the history to the people. It's easy to prove that it is there in the books.
So do you see this speech about this exhibit affecting or inspiring the people that come here, the new generation of artists in Venezuela?
Picasso is alive, still alive. It's beautiful to see how this artist, that he was born in 1881, and is still bringing emotions, colors, beautiful lines, reflections. It's bringing, he is alive. We were here 3 weeks ago, and then we see all this play for kids, explaining kids what is Picasso for kids. And I was there, and it was beautiful to see how Picasso is alive inside this museum. He didn't die. He did not die because he was here explaining the kids. I could see his face. I could see these kids being happy with Picasso forms, with Picasso shapes, with Picasso tales, the pictures, the drawing, and they were here, you know, now. And it's beautiful to see, and this is an eternal artist.
So it seems that we are using Picasso as an excuse to open up all types of arts for people.
Yes, it's beautiful to see the family coming to the museum, to see all this amazing exhibition of 149 pieces here. And you can see the kids happy. You can see people among beauty. You can see people having good time, good moment, and good memories from these amazing images that we have here. And if we can say that we are using Picasso for happiness, well, it's a welcome phrase. We are using Picasso for the happiness of people.
So tell me about the experiences you had with these children that came to the museum. Any specific one that you remember the most? Oh
yeah, this was beautiful to see these dancers and in the middle of the play, and it was full of kids from the schools near to the museum, and they were like hypnotized with Picasso images. This beautiful woman with the eyes, you know, in different places of the face, and then the ears here and the mouth on the other side, and they were like amazed of these beautiful images, and they were happy. They were having a very good moment. They were learning a lot. I'm sure that when they went back to school, they had a beautiful new experience in the museum, and that's the museums for. They are very good for that, to teach people to enjoy life, to enjoy different experiences here. And if we have this amazing collection, we will use that for our people to be happy and to have new experiences and to have a better life, that's art. The art is very good for that.
But you said that it's not only about being happy, that it's also about a reflection, about to think how we want society to be. What do you want people that come here and see these paintings to live with?
Yes, well, all along the exhibition is also a whole programs of speeches and workshops about the techniques that he used, the issues that he painted, the problems of that time and all that. You know, beside the exhibition, we have all these programs here in the museum. And we are still learning a lot. What's the point with bringing, for example, one of these paintings from the 60s to Caracas today? It's keep learning, and then every time, this is like a masterpieces. Every time you see them, you see a different thing. And we discover again that Picasso still have a lot of things to say to us here again and again. That's why he's a genius of the art, because every day during these last 80 years he has something new for us here in the museum.
Indeed. And it seems that the word politics, or comrade in this case, has been a little itchy, as you said. Like, people are still getting used to using this word, but instead seeing the word politics and political as something that it's part of society. And as Picasso, and you said it, you cannot divide the politics in a person and just call him a painter.
Yes, I think that's a bourgeois idea, to separate art from politics. Art is something beautiful and nice, and politics is a very dangerous and violent thing. Sometimes that you can see that in some speeches, and we say, no, it's not like that. If you can find someone who is naturally political, naturally, I don't know how to say that. The artist is naturally a politician in some way, because he always worked for people. No one, not even one artist worked for himself. If you paint, if you draw, if you make these etchings, it's for others. And then in that situation, you are a social individual in the middle of a lot of dynamic situation every day. And then I believe in social art. Art is part of the society. It's not a hidden thing. It's not for one or two people. It's for everyone. You can make art, and you can enjoy art, and you can learn from art, and art can bring you good experiences.
Do you have any projects here with this exhibit or with others that you have in mind or that you have done before that will seek to explain or like simplify the drawings of Picasso, instead of just talking about a stroke or the shape of a bull or a woman, to actually explain in a simple way that to people?
Well, you see, I need to make a comment. Here in this exhibition, we have a very interesting place, which is the library that we have here. We have a whole collection of books about Picasso. If you bring to the museum, you bring to see, we have tables, we have the chairs for you to enjoy the books. Some of these books are from the bookstore of the museum, but some others, they were always in the office of the director of the museum. They were never put for people. And this is the first time that you can see and you can read and you can see this beautiful collection of books on Picasso artworks that we have here. You can come here and stay the whole evening reading in our reading place. It's the first time that we have all this book together for people. This is beautiful to see also.
Indeed. So before we end today, I don't want to miss the opportunity to ask you about that aspect, how to open up art history for everyone to understand, since a lot of people believe that it's just for people to study art that can understand art.
Yeah, no, it's not, definitely not. We open the museums Here you can see the whole collection of Picasso we had, 149. 149 Picasso for the people. This belongs to the Venezuelan people, this collection, and is open for them, for the kids, for the neighbors, for the people from the school, for the workers, for everyone. And you see how this, the amount of visiting people in the museum is increasing little by little with this kind of exhibition. We have had this collection for a long time. Well, it's the moment to show them in a different way. And this is the way we find to show again Picasso. Call him comrade.
Call him comrade, indeed. Yeah. Thank you very much, Oscar, for your time.
Thank you, Carla. Thank you.
So we've been talking to Oscar Sotillo, the Vice Minister of Identity and Cultural Diversity here in Venezuela, about this amazing exhibit on Comrade Picasso, the connection between politics and arts and how it affects society. Thank you for being with us, and until next time.